Hello there everybody, welcome to part 2 of my tutorial for Divenire. Now in this intro I'm going to take some more time to talk about some other stuff before we continue with the tutorial. I always put this information at the end of the video, but I think as you already reached part 2 it is okay to listen to some stuff in the beginning of the video. So first I want to talk about Patreon. Patreon is a crowdfunding website where you can support me with a steady income. You can pledge a certain amount, like $1 to $5, something in between that, per tutorial that I release. And that would help me out so I can buy more equipment and make more tutorials, take more time to make these. There are also some rewards, of course, for supporting me. For example, when you pledge $3, I can make a personal video for you to help you out with anything that you're struggling with, or we can make a Skype session where I can help you out with anything. Anyways, I'm in a new room, as you can see. I moved, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a new location. Okay, so now the tutorial. This part is gonna be about the chorus of the song. And as you can see, I decided to make longer videos now. This one is half an hour as well. And we're gonna do the whole chorus. And it's pretty much gonna be the hardest part. And then the third part is easier already. And the first part was easier too. So if you can make it through that part, then you can make it through the rest of the song as well. Don't give up. Let's see what this part is gonna sound like. Okay, so this is basically the main part or the chorus of the song. First we'll learn this little build-up. Okay, we'll do both hands at the same time because it's fairly simple. Okay, so first your right hand plays this C, E, and A. And your left hand will play this A to complete this chord down here. And you will play A with your left hand 3 times while you play this chord with your right hand just once, like so. Then you jump to the next chord. With your right hand it's going to be E, G, and C. And again your left hand is going to complete this chord down here by playing this C 3 times. With the right hand you will again just play this chord once. Okay? Alright, then you will jump to the next chord. With the right hand you will play D, G, and B. And with your left hand, you will play G down here. And again, with your left hand, you play this note 3 times. Then you jump to the last chord. With the right hand, it's going to be F sharp, A, and D. And with your left hand, you will play this D down here. Okay, so it will sound like this. Okay, now you play this twice, but the second time you play it, the last chord is going to change. Instead of playing D with your left hand, up here, you will go 1 octave lower and play this D down here. And with your right hand, you will transpone this upper D 1 octave lower. So you will play D, F sharp, A, like so. And this time, your left hand is just going to play this D once, not 3 times. So the second time you play it, it will sound like this. Okay, let's listen to all of that again. Okay, and now the actual chorus starts. Okay, we'll start with the left hand. So first, you will play this chord, A, E, A, and you will just play those 3 notes. Then you go to the next one, and you will play C and G, just those 2. Then the third one, which is just going to be G, D, G. So it's pretty simple to jump from the second to the third, because you just stay with your thumb on this G and just add this D in between. Okay? And then the final chord is going to be D, A, D. And that is also pretty simple to remember, because your index finger is already on this D. So you just jump down with your thumb on this D and play this chord. Okay, so again. And you play this whole thing twice. Okay, now let's look at the right hand of this section. So the last thing you played was this chord. And what you do afterwards is you jump up to E up here and just play E, D, C, B. Okay, like this. So it just plays your fingers like that, and it's going to be fairly simple to play. Okay, now you have to do a difficult jump. You got to jump down to this first chord you basically played earlier, and you're going to play the following. Okay, so what you do is basically look at those notes again. You play A, B, C, D. And in between every note up here, you will just play C and E. So like this. So also after this last D, you also play C and E. And that is not that simple, because in the end, you have to do a pretty far jump. You gotta jump from this E to this D up here, and then down again to C and E. So you gotta practice that a lot. Okay, then you will play this third chord you learned earlier. And we'll again look at this upper note. You play B, C, D, E. It will sound like this. Okay, you probably noticed there was a change. Instead of just playing D and G, you'll have to switch to D and F sharp after the first two notes. So like this. First, you play B, then you play D and G in between, then you play C, D and G in between again, then you go to D, and as soon as you go up here, you will have to change from D and G to D and F sharp. Okay? And then you'll play D, and then D and F sharp in between, and then E, and D and F sharp again. So it will sound like this. Okay, let's listen to both of those again. Okay, and just like the left-hand chords, you will also play this whole thing twice. But the second time you play it, it changes. For the first two chords, you will play the same thing again. And now the third and fourth are going to change. The third one is going to stay like this. Okay, and now you jump to D up here. And you remember now it changes down here. But instead of playing D and F sharp in between, you will just play this D. Okay? And that's it. So like this. And after you've played this D, you will play this row again that you played in the very beginning. From E to B. Okay? So the second time you play this thing on the right hand, it will sound like this. Okay, let's combine that with the left hand. First you play this row downwards. And as soon as you start with this first chord, you will also start with your left hand. So it will sound like this. Okay, you played those first two notes up here, and for the third and fourth, you're gonna jump to the next chord on the left hand. So like this. Okay. Now for the third chord, your left hand is going to come in as soon as you start with this third chord, of course. And again, on this third note up here, you will go to the last chord. Okay? So I'll just play those upper notes once more so you see it clearly. And then you just add these notes in between. Okay, so let's listen to this whole thing once. Okay, it depends on how fast you want to play this thing in the end, but I would recommend you to practice this a long time until you can play it perfectly. It's really just about repetition. You just play it 1,000 times until you can play it in the tempo that you want to play it in. Okay, let's go to section 3. Okay, so for this section, the right hand is going to stay exactly the same as before. The only thing that changes is the left hand. And that's pretty simple as well. So remember, you played this chord first. The only thing you do now is you play those two notes up here back and forth like this. Okay, pretty simple. Same with the next chord. But this time, remember, you just played those two notes before. As soon as you start with this third section, you add this E in between so you can do this. Then the same thing with the third chord. And the fourth one, of course. And that's it. And now you just combine it with the right hand. Okay, now I know this looked way more simple than it actually is. Again, just like I always say, start really slowly and get faster at it. And you just play one note on the left hand for one note on the right hand. There's not much to explain here. And you play this whole thing until here twice, okay? Not just once like in the section before. Twice this time. Okay, and then the fourth section starts right after this. This time, the left hand is going to stay exactly the same. And the right hand is going to change. You're going to play the following. Okay, you can again see 4 chords. Okay, and you play them like this. It's a little complicated. You start with this upper E, this upper note of this chord. Then you play the chord once, twice, and then you play one note below this lower note on the chord. You play this G. So like this. Okay? And after you've played this G, you will play this row downwards. And you can remember where to start by looking at the upper note of this chord and going one note above that. Okay? And you do that on all chords. So this chord, upper note is E, so you start this row downwards on F. Okay, so it will sound like this. Okay, you do the same thing for the second chord. Okay, now this time you won't jump down to F, one note below this lower note, but you will jump down to F sharp. Okay, so like this. Then again, one note above the upper note of this chord, E, that's where you're going to start to play this row downwards. So like this. Okay, now the third chord is going to be a little bit different. You start the same way, but now the last note is going to be G, okay, after this upper C. And then you will again play this row downwards from here. So C is the upper note, and then you go up one note above that, play those 4 notes. So like this. Okay. Okay, and now for the last chord, you will play this. So what you do is, you play this upper note first, then you play the chord once, and then you play those lower 2 notes, and then you jump to the next chord, which is going to be this one. And you'll do exactly the same. So like this. Okay, let's listen to that again slowly. Okay, and you combine it again note by note with the left hand. Okay, and again, this sounds way more simple than it actually is. If it helps you, try to start with just the plain chords and combine those with the right hand first, so you know when you have to play the next chord. And then after a while, try to play the full thing. Okay, and now comes what I think is the most difficult part of this entire song. So if you're gonna learn that, then you can learn the rest as well. Okay, so now the left and right hand are gonna change. First the left hand. For the first chord, you're gonna play exactly the same again. But from then on it changes. First, you jump down to F, C, and A. Play this. Then you go from F and C up to G and D and play B up here. And then you go down 2 steps here, okay, to E, B, and then you play G up here. So like this. And now the second time you play it, instead of playing A, E, A, you will play A, E, C. Okay? That's the only thing. Basically, what you do is play this. And you just add the chords up here. Okay, and now the right hand. The right hand is going to play the following. Okay, so it starts the same way. You start on this upper note, play this chord twice, and now instead of jumping down to G, you will just stay on this A, and this is going to be your last note. And now you have to play this row downwards again, but last time you went from this upper note, 1 note above, and then played this row down here. Now you have to jump up 3 notes. Okay? And you start the row from here. So like this. Now you can remember where you have to jump up here by looking at this lower note and just playing this note 1 octave higher. This is where you start. Okay? Same thing for the second chord. Okay, exactly the same thing. You won't go down to F sharp, you will just stay on this G, and then for playing the 4 notes downwards, you again jump up 1 octave from this lower note, or 3 notes above this upper note. Okay? Whatever you can remember more easily. You go up to this G. Okay, and then the third chord, you will also not go to this G in the end, but just back to this A, like this. And again, the row played 3 notes above this upper note. Okay, you start on F. So like this. This time it doesn't work with looking at the lower note and then going 1 octave higher. You gotta go 3 notes above this upper note. Okay? And the fourth chord is gonna be easy. You'll just play this chord and not go to this one. So like this. Pretty simple. Okay, let's listen to that again. Okay, and now those two hands are probably the most difficult to combine. But again, just start super slowly. And to play that in the right speed took me quite a while, so don't worry if it takes you long too. Especially jumping up from this chord to this note and then playing the road downwards, jumping down again, while you have to jump up and down with the left hand too. So you gotta decide whether to look at your left hand or to look at your right hand. Eventually you're gonna master it anyways if you repeat it often enough. Your left or your right hand is gonna know where to jump just by muscle memory, okay? Okay, and the rest is gonna be super simple from now on. Okay, so first, after you've played this chord, you will play this again. And you already know this, so just play that, and that's gonna be a little bridge in the chorus. Okay, and then the final section, you're gonna play this. So you probably noticed, you just play exactly this thing, just one octave higher. And that's it. And just like you played this part twice, you will also play it up here twice. Okay, and that's the end of the chorus. Okay, and we'll also learn the bridge that starts after the chorus and before the next verse. Okay, so what you do is, you start by playing A, E, A on your left hand, and on your right hand you will play B, C, E. You start right after your left hand. Okay? Then with your left hand you will play F, C, and again this A. Okay? And your right hand is gonna play this. So B, C, E, D. Like this. And on this D, your left hand is gonna start again by playing G, D, A. Okay? And after you've played this A with your left hand, your right hand is going to play B, D, B, D. So again, like this. Okay, and on this second D, you will start with the last chord, which is going to be F, C, and G. And after you've played this, you will play this B up here with your right hand. And after this B, you will play E on your left hand again. And then you jump to the first chord again. So like this.
Okay, then you repeat this whole thing, and the thing that's gonna change is you're gonna play G instead of E on your right hand. So it will sound like this. And on the final chord, you will just play those 3 notes and hold this D on your right hand. And you won't play B or E with your left or right hand. Okay? So it will sound like that. And again, you will play this whole thing twice. Now I think I pause on this B on the last chord. I pause on this B a little longer than it is actually written down in the sheet music. I don't know why, I just like it a little bit more. Okay, we are done with this part. Let us listen to it again. Okay, and we're already halfway through the song. There's just one more part left now. And the chorus is, I think, the most difficult part, so just practice that, repeat it every single day. So let us see what we're gonna learn in the final part.
Alright, that was it. That was part 2 of 3, so you're more than halfway done already. Now, if you've learned this part, then the rest is gonna be easy, believe me. You just gotta practice this pattern, this chorus pattern a lot. I practice it a lot, and after a while you can master it. It's just really about tempo. If you don't want to play it super fast, then it's fine, and it's not gonna be that hard. Depends on what kind of tempo you want to play it in. Okay, I already said it at the beginning of the video, I'm just gonna add it in the end as well. I got a Patreon, and you can support me there. You can pledge some dollars for every tutorial that I post, so I can make more tutorials. I really want to make more tutorials. It's so much fun, yeah. So help me out in doing that by supporting me on Patreon. I got a link up here. And yes, I will see you in the next part then, I guess. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.